Good morning. Grab a cup and join me. What are we doing today? Well, we got a lot of things to talk about. I'd like to say good morning to everyone. I have cinnamon bun. Anybody else have unusual flavored coffee this morning? Well, we've already hit 16 in the room, so I might as well go over today's goodies. Well, I'm going to be destashing one skein or one cake of comfy cotton. You're going to get your choice. So be sure and stay on for that. And I have two bracelets today, too, to choose from. One is a metal one, and one is a leather one. So we'll be doing that on the show today. We're going to talk about what Claire is wearing over here. That was our number 6 live make-along that we were doing for the last 2 weeks. It was a challenge for you to grab a novelty yarn out of your stash. One skein would do it, and then if you wanted to do what I was doing, it was a Marley Bird super simple shawl, and I finished mine, and Claire is wearing it. Caramel macchiato. I just love the different flavors of everybody's coffee. Yeah. Oh, and HD has tea. So if you were doing that make along, you were challenged to find a novelty yarn, and this was mine. It was the Opium by King Cole, and it was very thin in places, very thick in places. It was hard to use. Let's put it that way. But what I had to do, I think, is just say, whatever way it comes up. And it kind of made me like sit back and just relax and say, whatever way, like it showed up. I'm going to bring that over here in front of the camera later on in the show and show you it finished. So if you're doing that, I'd like to see all your finishes. I also made scrunchie using pirouette. Now, I made this a while back, but it's still a novelty yarn, and I wanted to bring it out because the winner will have their choice of getting 2 of these pirouettes in 2 different colors, or 5 skeins of Pixie. I'd like to show this a little bit closer. Pixie is a dark horse yarn. I believe they are out of business now. And it had all kinds of bumps on it. So it's going to come up really different when you use this. And they don't seem to come off, but they're right into the yarn. So you had your choice. Wow, 25 people in the room. Good morning, everyone coming in. So when we get done next Sunday, I will draw a winner, and you would get a choice of the Pixie or the pirouette. And that'll be drawn next Sunday. So that's the make along for a novelty yarn. These were, there was a easy tutorial on how to make these. I linked it before. I'll try and remember to link it again. But you just take a hair tie and you just keep adding on pirouette until it ruffles up like that. So those are fun. Thank you. Everybody's helping out. Don't forget to put your chat on live chat so that when we have the giveaways and I ask you to put in a specific word, that it will show up on live chat. I see all my girlfriends are here. In fact, Stephanie's here. We have a new Fibercast for everyone. If you haven't seen it, maybe later you can go and check it out. We're going to be starting a new make-along together, too. That is going to start next week. So our new collaborating Fibercast will be announcing that on there. What else do I have today? So I'm going to announce a new make-along for this live. And we're going to start making baby items. And the first one will be a sweater tutorial. I am going to use someone else's tutorial for you to follow. And my choice is to actually take a yarn I think might be considered a novelty yarn. So I'm going to extend the novelty over into my next make along. And that's because I got this Soho at Hirschner's and it's been here for like 2 weeks screaming, make me into something. So I figured I'd challenge myself to use this. It says it's a 4-ply, or I always say that. Why? A 4 medium. It says it is, but it's so soft and so squishy that it might be between a 3 and a 4 as far as my opinion. Not positive, but I haven't used it yet. So I think I have enough to do a lovey, maybe I think that goes together well. So I think what I'm going to do is make a lovey and the sweater out of this yarn so that they match. But I will announce that next week on what the sweater is that I'm going to make, and then all the rules for the next make along will go along with that, and we'll announce that next week. So I'm hoping everybody likes these live make-alongs because I'm having a ball with it. I did bring a couple of whips to the show today and one finish. So if you've been following Kim and I on the Hook and Stitch Live on the Crafty Nomads channel, then you will know that we did a marathon, a hat not hate make along, and it was to use blue yarn to make blue hats, and I was using the Red Heart with Love and the Sparkle. And what I did was I put a post up on my Facebook page for you to post your blue hats in, and we have one more drawing for this yarn, and Kim will be drawing someone and I will be drawing someone for another skein of this. So a lot of you haven't been putting your blue hats up yet, and I wasn't sure. You have till Wednesday to do that. So this is my blue hat, and I will also put that that link for that Bag O' Day pattern. It is I have it outside in the other room. It is the Bonbon. And I was going to say the number, but I'm not quite sure what the number is. But it's the Bonbon. If you put that in Crystal's channel, it comes up. So if you put a blue hat up this month for the live, you can't use that blue hat in the same hats, and more hats, which is a year-long make-along that I do for hats. So you have to make a monthly hat every month, and it can't fall into any other category. So there's no double dipping with hats. So yes, welcome all of you that are coming on and you like the make-alongs. That's great because I like doing them. Yes, that is true. I got some of that Dollar Tree yarn also, and I was thinking of making loveys with that too. I think it's going to be real soft. I got a couple of their elephants, and you can see them on the D-stashes that I did, or yeah, the hauls that I did on my addictions video, but I will try and use that Chanel or chenille from the Dollar Tree on those elephants because I think their colors work well. So back to hats, and more hats. So I was spotlighting this jacquard craft yarn. Ooh, yes. It is so soft. I'm loving this yarn. So is Kim. She's making all kinds of stuff with it. And this month you can win a skein of it and one of my daisy stitch markers if you enter a hat into the hats, and more hats for March. Now, how do you do that? Well, go to the Facebook page, which will be linked below. If you're not a member, click the announcements tab after you have got there, and only challenges will come up or any announcements going on. I always delete them when they're old. So what I did was I made the crochet hat. It is another Bag-O-Day pattern. And I changed it up after I crocheted what she said to do, which was 18 rows of single and double crochets. That's all it is. After that, I did 1 row of crab stitch, which is a reverse single crochet on the edge, and then I popped on one of these pom-poms that I thought matched the colors pretty well. And these you can get on Amazon. I like the ones that unsnap because it's easier to wash the hat, and then your pom-pom is saved. They can take it off. So that's how the crochet one came up. I will be showing this again in a regular episode, not just the live. The knit one isn't done yet. I did do some rows on it yesterday, though. I guess we're having a hard time with allergies at the moment. I don't normally have every day. I sometimes have like every 3 or 4 days I'll have a little allergy, but every morning I've been having one. It's very weird. Thank you. Thank you for that. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to give away a piece of jewelry. And what I've been doing is I've been pulling out my inventory when I used to sell paparazzi. A lot of you know that I have been doing that. And how it works is after the moderator, Deb, which you probably all know who Deb is, she will mark the chat. And she's going to do it in a few minutes because she has to wait for me to give the key word to say. Today, there's going to be 2 keywords. So if you want to win either one of these bracelets that I have today, you're going to be putting in the keyword of the bracelet that you like. So there will be different people having different keywords. I just thought it would be fun to change it up a little bit. So today's bracelets are going to be this one. It has a beautiful rhinestone there. And this one's a pink. It's a pink colorway. So the actual rhinestone is pink and it's a metal. It's not quite 3-inch diameter. So if you, when Deb does it, if you want to win the metal one, you're going to say metal. And if you want to win this one is a wraparound, and it is a leather, and it has 1, 2, 3, 5 strands of leather. So Deb's going to go ahead and mark the chat. No, it's six strands of leather, sorry. Deb's going to go ahead and mark the chat, and you're going to write in metal or leather. And this leather one is 9 inches long, which it actually does fit me. They are 9 inches. And then this one is not quite 3 inches. So metal or leather, you have your choice today to write in which one you would like to win. And I'm going to give a minute for that. And anything that I give away on the channel, you must have a United States address to win. You need to be subscribed to my channel. Must be 18 years of age. It is all sponsored by me and only me, not YouTube or any other companies like, yarn companies or anything like that. And you have a week to claim your prize. I prefer messenger or email. And it doesn't matter whichever way you decide, but you do need to claim the prize and tell me what you won, because that makes life easier. Okay, Deb, it's been a minute. We'll go ahead and mark the chat. And then what happens is Deb goes over, she counts up all of the entries. She lets us know how many entries there was. She draws a number, a random number, and then out of the group, whoever lands on that spot, she will announce it to us. So that way I can go on and go ahead and show you the next things. And, it's kind of fun. I like to do it this way. She doesn't get to participate, but you know what? She's so busy. She doesn't even know what's going on half the time. She tells me I have to watch the replay just to see what you were talking about. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Lori. So I do have to say something to all of you about Sandy at Left is Right Crochet. So I did a spring swap with the group, and all the girls put their names in. And I was waiting for Sandy to send an email because she had said she wanted to do it. And I got all the girls paired up, and Sandy still hadn't actually sent her email telling me her address. So I waited. Finally, she did. And I'm like, well, I matched up everybody. So I guess you're my partner. And she's like, oh. So then I sat down and started asking the girls, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? So I created a little amigurumi. And I don't do amigurumi. So I don't know if Sandy knows that, but she got like one of the only amigurumis I've ever made. And I sent it to her in the box, and I sent it with a letter, and it's hilarious. So if you haven't seen that, pop on over to Left is Right Crochet and check it out. It's really cute. I had a ball doing that. Yes, but she's gonna have a chance to get even because she hasn't even sent my box yet. So that's fun. What else did I bring out today? I brought out the skein of, whoops, I just dropped that. I brought out the skein of Premier Bloom. Why did I bring it out? Well, I have not ever bought one of these before. So when I got my hands on it the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, This is the softest. For 100% acrylic yarn, this is the softest I have felt in a while. I mean, it is really close to Sweet Delight, which I love. I love it, by Hobby Lobby. It's their, their brand. But this is so soft and so beautiful. And this is very challenging to me. This yarn bugs me because when you are crocheting with a yarn like this, every so often the colors will come up and they're supposed to look like flowers and they never match and it just bugs me. So I said, what am I going to do with this? Well, I went on the internet and I looked around and I looked at the Premier's choices for patterns for this, and I wasn't thrilled because I needed 2 and I only have 1. So this is not the chunky. This is the 4. Wait. Nope, sorry. 3 light. It's 3 light and it is so soft. So anyway, I decided on a pattern finally to try it out. So I'm going to be making it in Craig's Which Way Filet. I already started it. And as you can see, the filet is already coming up out of the pattern. But see how that doesn't quite meet? I'm not going to worry about it this time. I'm just going to go ahead and just let the ball do what it's going to do. And I think it is the softest. Someone is going to absolutely love this blanket. So, and a baby is going to love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flow with this pattern until the skein is gone. So that's my choice and my opinion on this. It's very hard. Now, they did have a pattern on Premier's website. Deb says there were 22 entries for the bracelets. So they had this pattern on the website, and it's a free pattern from Premier, using their bloom yarn for a a knit baby hat. So I, of course, had to print that because I was thinking maybe I would have enough to do that. I don't know, but I definitely had to print it. So that also is a very nice idea to do with that. And you know what I was thinking also is if you take and you bought one of those, you could make several of these out of this skein, because these skeins are 656 yards. The winner of the bracelet was HD Handmade Designs. Congratulations. It says 1 ball to make this hat. Now, there's not going to be, it's not going to be 656 yards to make that. I'm sure of it. But you could probably make several. I wonder why that doesn't say approximate amount. When they make these patterns, they should also include, yardage and things to adapt it to another pattern or another yarn, because but anyway, that is cool. And yes, Premier does that quite often. They'll put patterns up that go with their yarns. So if you ever see something on their Premier that has it's a novelty yarn or something like the Spangle or one of those, a lot of times they'll have a pattern to go with it. 48 in the room. Thank you, guys. So I just thought I'd share that. And of course, it'll be around. It'll be hanging around here, and I'll show it several times before I'm done, because obviously I have several whips, and I like that because sometimes I feel like sitting on the other side of the room and not having to look at anything and just sitting and that is a tutorial. A lot of people don't like the tutorials, but once you get past this row right here, it's just a 2-row repeat. You don't need the tutorial any longer. You just follow the 2-row repeat. So I've made it before and I really like it, and I think it's going to be perfect. I am using a 3 light and an H hook on this. Craig is using a 4, and I believe he's using the I on his. So if you're interested, that I'm using the H. See, I have a little letter on the back of my project that tells me, because I don't have a lot of hooks, so I always take the hooks out of the projects and don't leave them in there because I don't want to lose them. 26 minutes in. Yes, I really want to use that for one of the make-alongs coming up. So if you, not the premiere, but that pattern, the premiere yarn, you know, we can use it if you can use it if you want to, but I want to use that tutorial for a make-along coming up in the future. Okay, what else did I put on here? Oh, I wanted to remind you about the brackets. I have brackets on my addictions video. That's the only place you will find them. It's the only way to get entered into the brackets. So what are they? It's a game I came up with. I put a set of brackets on this board. There are 4 sets of brackets, and it's how you play is you get your name drawn on an addictions video, which means you would have to win a giveaway. And then I pull a number and you are entered into the brackets that way. When somebody is drawn next to your name, I will have a roll off between those 2 people, and that person that wins will advance on to the next part of the bracket, and so on. So this is going to be an ongoing thing for the next couple months. You might win a nice, item for one of the addictions. You might win a pattern. You might win stitch markers. It just depends on what is going on. And then when you're entered into the brackets is going to have choices. One of the choices so far is a skein of yarn from the hand dyer Buxom Knits. Is that her name? Buxom Cat Knits. And Buxom Cat Knits is where I get my Outlander Club subscription once a month, and I put in February's into the choices for the brackets. So that was one of the things. So I hope you guys are watching the addictions videos and playing that game because, it's fun. So what else am I doing? Oh, well, let's see. It's 28 minutes in. So let's do a D-stash. So how this is going to work today, it's a little bit different. I changed it up. Yeah, I don't want to bore you. Okay. You made a pillow with that pattern? That is cool. See, now I don't always read the chat. You know that. But I did see that come across, and I thought that was really cool. Oh, 51 people in the room. Thank you so much. Okay, D-stash time. So what we're going to do is, again, Deb is going to mark the chat. She's going to wait just a second, though, because I have to give the rules. So today is featuring this comfy cotton. I got some from my Christmas tree shop. And this one is in the colorway Spring Meadow. And this one is in the colorway Enchanting. So they are both the same, 3 light. They are 7-ounce skeins, 392 yards of 50% cotton, 50% polyester. Very nice. It is. So now Deb's going to mark the chat. And if you would like to be entered in to win one of these, you only get one. You're going to put in the Meadows, Spring Meadows in your comment after she marks the chat, or the Enchanting. So now's your chance. You get a 1 minute to put in either the Spring Meadows or the Enchanting. So if you don't say those words, then your entry doesn't count, by the way. That's the D-stash for today. So you get your choice. I love doing this. This is pretty soft. I am planning on a couple of washcloths in these now that I've talked about it. So I have kept one of each for myself. And it's interesting to see what you guys are going to pick, which colorway. By the way, has anyone noticed, is the Super Chats on? I was thinking that they were on, but I'm not positive. Let me know if you see that they are on. Why are they on? Well, I figured if anyone would like to help out with shipping and handling on the D-stash for the channel, then by all means you can. So it is there if anyone is interested. Other than that, it's fine. You never have to thank me. You never have to ever contribute anything. So, oh yeah, you making the hand tiles. Oh, see, thank you so much, Christy. Thank you so much for that. That's my very first one ever. I need a bell. Of course, that would be loud, but thank you so much. We'll have to put that down as this is the cutest thing ever. Oh my goodness. Yep, our very first live with Super Chats on. Oh my gosh. So I think that is a minute, Deb. So she's going to put a mark the chat again. And then we're going to find out from Deb who won a cake of this comfy cotton. Thank you so much. What else am I talking about today? Oh, yes, I want to do, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Julie, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for that. Angie and Julie, you guys are number one. Thank you. You're gonna make me cry. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to do this little quiz with everybody, and I don't know whether or not it's like, it's not copyrighted. So what I'll do is I'll do the quiz. You get out a pen real quick. It's really quick, and write down your answers, and then we'll see if you enjoyed it or not. I will change the words up so that it's not exactly, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Thank you so much, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I have 4 questions for you. The first question, when you find a mistake in your work, and this goes back to Stephanie and my fiber calf. We're going to call it fails, but our fails are no filter. So we're going to tell you about our fails. So thank you so much, Granny D. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you guys. Anyway, when you find a mistake in your work, what do? Do you carefully examine it and find the best way to correct it, and then stuff the whole thing under the bed? Do you immediately unravel it and go back to the error and begin again? Or do you ask someone if the error is noticeable? Those are your three choices. Just write down your answer. I don't need to know what it is. It's just a little fun trivia I wanted to do today because it's just so much fun. You might have to come back later and listen again, but that's okay. I'm going to quickly go to question number 2. When you see a rare and expensive type of yarn go on sale, do you buy just what you need for a current project? Do you buy all the store has, or you don't need a sale? Those are your 3 answers. The next question. Well, while you're working on crochet, do you usually watch television or listen to an audiobook? Thank you, Ravini. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys, for helping out with shipping. Thank you so much. While you're watching TV, do you mentally plan out a to-do list while you're crocheting? Or do you try to ignore the kids who are playing indoors and outdoors and the washing machine and everything else, like elephants with a big club foot and the dog and everything and the cat? And those are your 3 choices. The 4th question. You don't have to answer the questions on here. I'm just reading them because I thought they were cute. When you discover, oh yeah, I read that one. When you select a new project, okay, do you do it for upcoming birthdays and gift-giving events, or do you do it for a theme for your home decor, or do you, or on whichever size hook you have that hasn't fallen down the sofa cushions and use that? It's just crazy, these questions. So anyway, if you answered all A's, the first answer in, it says you're trustworthy, you're loyal, you're helpful, you're thrifty, you're brave, and you're creative. And you're like a crochet girl or Boy Scout. We have a winner for our D-Stash today. Obviously, you all know that Alice won. So congratulations to Alice. I'll be looking for an email or something from you soon. And then it says, if you answered mostly B's, well, then you all clearly cheated. The third one says, if you answered mostly C's, welcome to the real world of crochet. If you actually finish this entire quiz, it means you spend too much time on quizzes and not enough time on crochet. So yeah, I just figured I'd read that off. It was so cute. Yepper. So back to the make along. So if you've been using your novelty yarn, how have you been liking it? I know that one thing I saw, Kim said that she wasn't sure whether her yarn was considered a novelty yarn because it didn't look all fancy and dancy and have all this really hard to see issues. But then again, after she started using it and actually used it, she said it was a little bit difficult. So back to what I was making with mine, I was using a roving novelty yarn. It's very, very thick in places, very thin in other places. You have a whole week left to finish yours. And I'm going to reach over here and grab this scarf off of Miss Claire. And I finished mine last night. So I did the super simple shawl. And as you can see, the super simple shawl is just a fillet. It is a free tutorial on Marley Bird's channel. And if you do it, it's just double crochet, chain 1, and they're stacked. So you do your double crochets on top of each other. At the middle, you do 3. In the very middle one, you will do 3 sets of those double crochets. So you're always increasing at the middle on the spine. And then at each wingspan, you will increase 1 on each edge. So it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I can't hold it up. Okay, so there we go. So I finished it about like I was thinking, okay, how much do I have left? Because that's what you have to do if you want to do a border. You don't have to do a border. But if you don't, then you have these real big gaps of open, work. So what I did was I did a single crochet, chain 3, a single crochet in each of the openings so that it gave me a little bit of loops on the edge. And why it did that was because of the big poofiness in it and stuff, right? And then it just comes out to perfect. Now she goes ahead and she does hers where she puts buttons on the back and makes it so that it will be actually buttoned behind so it won't fall off. And I didn't think that was necessary because with the length and everything of mine, you can just throw it on and bring the tails down and tuck them in. And it's going to be staying right there because this is drapey enough. Okay. You could wear this any way you want. And it just makes for a little color poof on your specialty date. And this one is, got a lot of cotton in it, so it's not real heavy. But it is too cute not to make these. So I like to do these up and sell them in my Etsy shop. So yeah, that's fun. I challenged all of you to do that. Thank you all for those who have stayed this long. And it is a little warmth behind you. I mean, behind your neck and stuff. But like you could wear it on the side and just tie it because, it's definitely anything you wanted to do with this. You could even put a shawl pin on it, So that's why I like doing these little shawlettes because they're so different. You can wear it any way you want. So hope you enjoyed doing that. If you haven't put up your finishing, don't forget to do that because while you have a week still, I'm going to draw it next Sunday. So it's plenty of time. The winner from this make along will be choosing. They can choose their choice of the Dark Horse Pixie or 2 skeins of the Pirouette to make. You can make scrunchies, but you can also make scarves with this. The old way that they had. I think there might be a tutorial on the scarf somewhere too. I didn't look for that if anybody wants to say that. So yeah, scrunchies. Okay, I think we've made it to our questions. Ask me anything reasonable. Ask me anything reasonable section. And I hope everybody's having a nice weekend. Yes, that's true. I don't think you need the buttons on this one. You could put one on if you wanted to just use it to button here. You could put one on and you could button it in any hole in any place. But I just think this is so drapey, you wouldn't need it. Best yarn for a baby sweater. Okay. I'm going to answer this question in my opinion because I make lots and lots of baby sweaters. The yarns that I prefer to use for a baby sweater are 3 light with a mix, a blended mix, not just acrylics. There are some out there that are perfect and they're all acrylic, but I like to see a little polyester in them now. I never used to, but I feel that they are much more, they're softer and they give more. So when you're trying to put their little arms in, the yarn is giving. And I just think that you don't want to use 4 because you don't get as much drape and as it's not as versatile. I do use 4, but not very often. I prefer the 3. So sometimes I'll do a blanket in 4 and the sweater in 3, and I'll just match up the colors. So that is my opinion. The yarn that I'm using for my next make along will be a sweater. It is a 4, but it is a very light 4. And someone asked, Deb asked if it was velvety, and it is. It is very cushiony and very velvety, and it's 100% polyester. So that's really going to be something different for me to use. I have used 100% polyester before in something else and made a baby sweater out of it, and I didn't like using it. So I won't be going back. The most ambitious and most difficult project that I've worked on. I'll tell you what I will do. Just for you, Julie, I will bring out a whip that is languishing whip in my stash right now that I have not finished, and I will bring it out next week. I'll have to make a note of it. One of the most challenging patterns that I have ever done was an Indian head cross stitch over your work. It was done in 1989, and you make the whole middle section out of we call it Tunisian crochet. Back then it was called crochet. What the heck was it called? Now I knew what it was called. Granny stitch. No. Anyway, I knew what it was called a second ago and now I forgot. But anyway, you did this with the big long hook. You put the stitches on, took them off, and you made this big white space. And then you put this Indian head across, cross-stitched it on over it. And then there were 2 extra panels that had like the totem poles on, and you went all the way up the side with the totem poles and reds and oranges and blues and all these colors. And both ends had that. That was raffled off and was donated to, I believe, the Legion or something like that. So that was definitely interesting. Hi, Steve. So Kathy Ann asked if you can still enter a blue hat. Yes, you can. There's a post in my Facebook page for blue hats for Hat Not Hate. The winner from that will be drawn it'll be drawn Thursday sometime or after that. I don't know when Kim and I are going to get, but you have till Wednesday the 31st to get your blue hats in. So that was another question. You would like to see my first granny square blanket too. Yeah, I know. I will bring that out too. If I can find it. Yeah. Yep, we're so hi there, Kim. Kim's joined us. Wonder what else I brought. yes, Kathy Ann, that will work. I think well, you know what you're going to see is you're going to see the drape. What you do is you take your skein that you're going to try and make a baby sweater out of. And for this week, you can have homework if you've already finished your other or you're not doing that challenge. Take your skein that you want to use for your baby sweater and just do a 4-inch swatch with it. And then we'll feel what your drape is going to be and things like that out of it. Use it with an H or an I, and so that would be a 5 millimeter or 5.5 millimeter, and just do a little swatch. You can rip it out afterwards, but just do it and get your gauge and see what your gauge is. And a lot of times I don't worry about a 1/2 inch or an inch difference in size, because when I gift a baby sweater, I like it to be able to go over the clothes well and be able to, for them to be able to grow into it and to use it for a while. So when people say, well, you know, I want to make a newborn, I don't always try to make newborn size, because then it will be like a month and then they aren't going to wear it anymore. So 0 to 3 months, somewhere in there. Your gauge doesn't have to be exact, but it needs to be darn close to, you know, if it says 10 or 14 stitches per inch, then, or for 4 inches, then that's what it should be close to. But the sweater we're going to be doing is going to be an easy one so that everybody can work along with it. I have made the sweater many, many times, so I have my opinions on how I finish it. And what I will do is when I do it, I'm going to share with you how I'm going to finish mine. I'm not going to finish it the way that the tutorial tells you to finish it. So I'm going to do my way on the show. But the basis of the pattern will be that pattern. So if you, oh yes, I want to make sure before we go off, and there's 8 minutes left, that I tell you that, remind you to get your hats and more hats in for the month of March. Remind you about the blue hats that ends this weekend, or Wednesday. I'm talking like I don't know what I'm talking about. And all of the anything I talked about will be linked below. However, the new make along will not be linked below yet. It is not starting until next Sunday. I don't want, you know, everybody going and doing it until it's time to do it. So I'm not gonna link it below. It's not ready until next week. Let me think what else is going on. The end of the quarter. So I did not give out the name of that tutorial this next week. The end of the quarter for It's a Wrap is coming up also. That is Wednesday. So I hope you get in your finishes, because if not, you're going to miss out on an Elle Gray bag, because we're giving one away. All right. Any other questions? We've got 5 more minutes. I might have started that a little early. Yeah, my one favorite, I'll tell you what my favorite yarn is right now at this very moment to use for baby items. Now, I was introduced to this yarn during one of their clearance sales, and that's how I ended up falling in love with it. This yarn is called Yarn Bee Sweet Delight, and it is a light 3. As you can see, is very, very nice. This happens to be a very pretty colorway, which I also like the speckled colorways. So this one's called Kitty. And once I tried this and I knit with it also, I said this is my favorite to make baby items with now. It doesn't mean I won't use anything else, but boy, this is killing me not to use this on the upcoming one. But yeah, I've been hoarding up some colors because apparently some of them are, discontinued, like the puppy one. And I liked that. I made a sweater out of that last summer. And so yeah, this is my favorite one. Any finishes are always asked to be posted in the Facebook group. The link will be below. And you click the announcements tab, and then you go and find that post for that make along. Any other questions? All the make-alongs and everything always are on Facebook, because that way I can go there real quick. If I'm at work, whatever, and look at your pictures easy enough. It's easier to post there than to read them everywhere else. And that just happens to be the link that I choose to link my channel with. So thank you all for joining me today. And thanks for the super chats and the stickers and all those crazy things you guys did earlier. Thank you so much. It will help me with the shipping, which is exactly my reason for having them there. Look for a new addictions video coming up probably Tuesday. Yep. When you go to the Facebook page, there is a pinned post at the top of the page, and that gives you directions on how to navigate and a couple of rules. We don't have self-promotions. We don't talk about anything political or any of that stuff. I just go ahead and delete it. Thank you so much, Christi and Granny D and everyone else. Thank you, Ravini. Thanks, guys. I still have 2 minutes, so all right. Well, I will see you next week for the winner of this novelty make along. And then the other thing is look for a new make along next Sunday, and we're going to start a baby item. So that will be the beginning of a series of baby items. I hope that some of you like that. I know I do. I love it. I like making blankets and sweaters and everything baby, and that's just the way I am. And I have a new little guy here that I found at Walmart, and if you're looking for loveys to use, these guys are only $2.98, and this one has a sound in it. So for $2.98, you can't go wrong. And I just love frogs. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye now. Super chat's up at the top, I guess. I don't know where it is, but yes, he is cute. All right, take care, everybody. I'll see you later.